people mounted up. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Guys, good to see you again. Thank you for letting me introduce you last night. I appreciate you.
Yeah, that was so fun. Thank you.
There's a really great moment in the movie where Bobby talks about a show that he saw when he was 12. And it was kind of that show that just taught him a little bit about who he was. If you could imagine 12-year-old you watching Bros, what would your reaction have been? What kind of impact do you think it would have had on you?
I think it would have had a massive impact, you know, and it's kind of weird to talk about your own movie. You know, my movie would have changed my life, you know. So
Spielberg's making a movie about himself, so we're okay.
Yeah, you know what? Good point.
I got you.
Yeah, no, but I do think if we had romantic comedies like this about LGBTQ folks, gay men falling in love, falling out of love, you know, it was so rare we saw ourselves, and when we did, it was often about someone closeted and tortured, suffering. You know, it was always about the challenges of being gay and none of the joy and the fun and the comedy and the sexiness and the romance, which for me, I'm happy to say I've been openly gay my whole adult life. It's not without its challenges, but it's been a very joyful experience, you know, but it's so rarely captured on the big screen. And so I so wish we'd had more of that when I was a kid. And I'm so happy that there's going to be gay kids and straight kids too who see this movie and go, oh yeah, absolutely. Gay people, great.
Yes, it's great.
You know what I mean?
Okay, we brought up a good point because you guys grew up watching rom-coms about straight people. What is a rom-com you loved growing up that, like, let's be honest, let's throw some more gay people in there just to kind of see what happens.
I mean, I loved Pretty Women growing up. I mean, I really did. I know that maybe with the lens of time, it's got some things, but I just love that movie so much. I remember watching that with my dad. I'd like to think that me and my dad could really enjoy watching Bros together, too.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I loved rom-coms growing up. I saw so many with my parents, and it's interesting to think back now. So many of them take place in Manhattan, which is a mecca for gay people and LGBTQ people, and we were nowhere to be found in them. Not even
like
as a
black
best
people
friend.
and friends.
Exactly that. I mean, you know, marginalized folks were often left out of these movies, even though I still love the movies. I mean, Tootsie is about a man dressing up as a woman to become famous on TV, but there are no actual queer people in the movie as far as I can remember. And again, I love those movies, but it's such a gift to be able to put one in the world which reflects our world, our culture, but a movie that's very relatable for everyone, you know, and when it comes to dating and love and sex, you know, again, I think it's cool for straight people to go and say, oh, wow, like, I so relate to that. Oh, but that part's very different. You know, you see where our lives overlap and where they don't, and that's an exciting thing.
I love that. Well, you brought up New York. Every time I've ever gone to New York, I've only wanted one thing to really happen to me. And we do junkets in New York all the time. Yeah. All I've ever wanted is for Billy Eichner to run up to me with a microphone, scream in my face, and ask me a question. If Billy were to run up to Bobby on the streets of New York, shout a question at him, and put a microphone in his face, how do you think Bobby would react to that moment?
Bobby would be one of those people who just says, like, shut up, I don't want to talk to you, and walks away. You know, I always said that Billy on the street would never talk to Billy on the street. You know what I mean? He would be too impatient.
It's like that math equation where the things cancel each other out somehow.
Yeah. The whole world just exploded.
Yeah,
just would be like the very meta-ness of this whole thing.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm basically a tourist attraction now in New York, you know.
It's like Empire State Building, like thin pizza, and then, you know.
Yeah,
you guys do touch on something that I've always thought was really interesting. You touch on the Brokeback Mountains and the power of the dogs. Straight actors playing gay men. How do you guys feel about straight actors playing gay men? Is it acceptable at a time when we've moved on, or how do you feel?
Well, I mean, we thought for Bros the right thing to do was to cast an all LGBTQ cast, except for a few fun celebrity cameos, which you'll have to see the movie to see who that is.
They're fantastic.
They are really, really funny.
And they're still straight as far as we know.
And we think some of them are still straight.
Even having done the movie.
Bros might have turned them gay, but I don't know.
Actually, one of my gay friends was like, you're straight, but wait till you see Bros.
But, you know, for this movie, it made sense to have LGBTQ people in the roles because we've so rarely gotten the opportunity to star in a big mainstream comedy like this. And there's so many funny LGBTQ performers out there, and we wanted to take advantage of that. And also, for me, selfishly, I didn't want it to just be a great experience for me as a gay man. I wanted to pull up other people in our community who I also know are hilarious and worthy of these roles and opportunities. And You know, I don't think we're trying to make any strict rules about, oh, straight should play straight and gay should play gay, because it is acting, and the fun is that we all get to play each other. But historically in Hollywood, 90% of the time, the most highly visible LGBTQ roles were often played by straight movie stars. You know, it just didn't work as a two-way street. And
but a lot of it was also that there were no openly gay movie stars. So
Sure.
there wasn't actually a pool of people that you could go to and ask to play these parts.
Right, but that's because the movie studios wouldn't allow openly gay people to star in movies. So then how do you become a bankable movie star if you're never given the opportunity? That's the catch-22 there. And so with Bros, we're not trying to say it should always be LGBTQ, playing gay or whatever. We're trying to just correct an imbalance that we've seen historically in the industry and just make things a little bit more equal and give fresh faces an opportunity to shine.
I've certainly played a lot of straight characters, and I would not want that to be taken away from me.
But I also look forward to the day where, like, and I love that it's getting the props that it should, but I also look forward to the day where it's just like, it's just a thing. Like, it's not a big deal.
Right.
You know?
Right. I mean, and you know, sometimes it takes making a bold statement like, hey, we are going to populate this movie with openly LGBTQ actors and make it just as funny and hilarious as any other Judd Apatow movie, because Judd produced this too. And one thing Judd and Nick Stoller, who directed it, are known for, you know, they're known for introducing fresh comedic voices to the world. People didn't know Melissa McCarthy before Bridesmaids, or Steve Carell before 40-Year-Old Virgin, Seth Rogen before Knocked Up. And so they're doing what they've always done. It just happens to be that this time they're introducing really funny LGBTQ people to a bigger audience.
And they're fantastic.
And they're so funny.
I genuinely love this movie so much. Honestly, I do junkets every day, so when I don't like a movie, I don't say anything about it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, and if you don't get an Oscar nomination for the screenplay, we riot. We
all
take
right, let's take to the street.
Yeah, we absolutely take to the street. But guys, I appreciate your time. Thanks for last night, and I love you guys, and I love the movie. So thank you for your time.
So much.
I appreciate it.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.